Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Gianni. Gianni is the diminutive of Giovanni, which are both Italian forms of John. What Gianni is to Giovanni basically is the same as what Gianni is to John. John is the anglicized version of the Latin Iohannes, the Greek Ioannēs, and the Hebrew Yochanan, all of which translate to Yahweh, God, is gracious, or God is generous. The name actually originated in the Old Testament, or Hebrew Bible, as one of King David's mighty men. However, John owes most of its popularity to two prominent New Testament figures, John the Baptist and John the Apostle. John has traditionally been a name of great importance since early Christianity. John the Baptist, like Jesus, was born under miraculous circumstances. The angel Gabriel appeared to his father, Zechariah, claiming that God will give his barren wife, Elizabeth, a son, John, to help prepare the way for the Messiah, Jesus. And the child grew and became strong in spirit, and lived in the wilderness until he became manifest to Israel. Luke 1 verse 80. It was John the Baptist who baptized Jesus in the river Jordan. The other John, John the Apostle, was a fisherman, the brother of James, and a follower of Christ. He is most known as one of the authors of the four Gospels of the New Testament. John's Gospel focuses on Jesus as the eternal one from heaven and is considerably more theological and philosophical than the other three Gospels. John is a name with many forms: Sean, Irish, Ian, Scottish, Giovanni, Italian, Jean, French, Juan, Spanish, Johann, German, Jan, Dutch, and Ivan, Russian. The name was reintroduced to Western Europeans after the First Crusade, 11th century, by the Eastern Christians from the Byzantium Empire. It has become one of the, if not the, most successful male names in the history of mankind. John has been borne by 23 Roman Catholic popes, 8 Byzantium emperors, scores of saints, many kings, and several U.S. presidents. In all of its many forms and various languages, John has been a perennial favorite. Giovanni is the most traditional and formal of the Italian versions of John, but John, Gianni, Giannino, Nino, and Vanni are also used. While Giovanni is a high-ranking name in Italy today, the diminutive Gianni is not. It is, however, a high-ranking name on the island of Malta off the Sicilian coast. Personality of the boy named Gianni. The number 9 personality represents the completion or ending of the cycle, and a need for perfection. This is the personality that moves from self to a greater understanding and compassion for the human condition and the world order. They want to make the world a better place. 9s are capable of great spiritual and humanitarian achievements. They are courageous and fearless, able to fight great battles on behalf of worthy causes. These personalities will not tolerate injustice. They are compassionate people with a strong sensitivity to others. They are able to both educate and inspire. Friendships and relationships are the lifeblood to the 9, and they place a high value on love and affection. 9s are often exceptionally gifted artistically, and they have a keen imagination and enterprising mind. Popularity of the boy named Gianni. Gianni first appeared on the American male naming charts in 1997, the same year that fashion mogul Gianni Versace was gunned down in front of his Miami, Florida mansion by a deranged gunman named Andrew Cunanan. Obviously, Gianni Versace had a lot of American fashion fans because the name suddenly hit the charts at pretty respectable levels, particularly for a first-time entrant. The name's popularity was relatively short-lived and appeared to be retreating back to no man's land as we veered toward the 21st century. Then Gianni suddenly reversed his course and started to head upwards again. It's hard to say where Gianni will go from here. This Italian stallion has only been on the American charts for less than 20 years and is still quite underused as an independently given name. Using the name Gianni instead of Giovanni is like naming your son Johnny. In fact, Gianni and Gianni sound an awful lot alike in terms of pronunciation. Yet just because the name is Italian, it is so much more suave and panache. Quick facts on Gianni. Gender, boy. Origin, Italian. Number of syllables, 2. Ranking popularity, 532. Pronunciation, Gianni. Simple meaning, God is gracious. Characteristics of Gianni: independent, philanthropy, perfection, intuitive, oneness, idealistic, multi-talented. Cultural references to the baby name, Gianni. Famous people named Gianni. Gianni Versace, fashion designer.